Hello and welcome coders to the Sky Coding. So from today onwards, we are going to start a new series of data loading in Snowflake. Here in this series, we will cover data loading from the scratch level to the advanced level, and we will cover all types of data loading in the separate videos. Let me give you a quick overview that what we are going to cover in this video. We will load the data from internal, external stages. This is just a simple thing. After that, we will cover loading big data files, loading special character files, multiple files we will load. We will load the JSON data. We will see that how can we deal with the null handling, data deduplication, and very important thing, we will see that how can we deal with the date and time stamp error while loading the data into the Snowflake tables. Okay, so these all the things we will cover in this series. Data loading. Data loading is a very important. That's why I have created a separate series for the data loading, and there will be 5, 6, 7 tutorials on this data loading. You can watch all those series, okay, videos. So without wasting any time, let's get started the first session of data loading. And if you talk about our Snowflake course, so we have basically covered the full Snowflake course, and the link for the full course videos is given in the description box. You can watch the full course series from the description box, and there we have also covered the data loading in the separate video from internal and external stages. So it's better to watch that video also from the Snowflake full course. Okay, so you can watch that. Okay, Snowflake is a very good technology. Everyone can run it. If you are just a beginner to programming and you are not from the programming background, then also you can learn this Snowflake. It's a very simple thing. For loading data in the Snowflake table, we are having the two methods. We can load the data by using the internal stages, and in the internal stages we are having user stage, table stage, and named stage. Whenever any new user will register to the Snowflake account, then user stage will be created, and whenever any new table is created, then table stage will be created. And this is the just a custom stage, named stage. You can create any desired stage by giving any name. Okay, and if you want to load the data from the external stage, then you can load that way as well. AWS S3, you can load the data from AWS S3 bucket, Azure, or the GCP. Okay, these are all the things we have covered in the Snowflake full course tutorial series. You can watch this internal stage loading and external stage loading from the description box for better understanding of this series. Okay, so if you want to load the data from the internal stages, means from your local machine, then you need to connect your local machine with the SnowSQL, and SnowSQL is the just a very important thing for loading the data from the internal stages or your local machine. So if you want to load that thing, then SnowSQL you have to install. So if you want to install the SnowSQL, then you can visit this website and you can download the SnowSQL for Windows, Mac, or Linux according to your system configuration, and you can just do the configuration of SnowSQL. Okay, SnowSQL configuration video is already there in my Snowflake full course. You can watch if you are facing any type of doubt in configuring SnowSQL with the command line and with the interface. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's get started. And first of all, what we will do, we will load the first of all a CSV file. Okay, in this customer CSV table. Okay, so let me describe this table. Describe table customer underscore CSV. Okay, we will just load all of these CSV PSV TSV file in this table. So this table is already ready, which is having a 15 columns, and this is just a dummy table which I have just copied from web. So there is no worry about this thing. This is just a dummy thing which we are going to practice here. Okay, so let me tell you. Let me show you that CSV file which I am going to use. Okay, so this is just a customer file which is having the 15 columns, and we are having 100 rows here. Okay, now you can see we are having 100 rows. It is in 101 because here in the one row we are having the column name. So we will use the file format property skip header, so that it will skip the header, means it will skip the column names. Okay, so this is the thing which I am going to do, and I will load this table data in this our table. Okay, so for that loading the CSV file of data, we have to create a file format. This thing all we know. Okay, so for that we will create a file format, and if you want to briefly understand that what is file format and how to load the data from scratch level, if you want to understand, then it's better to watch my video series from the description box. So let me create a file format. So for file format, we will just write this file format, and I will just use CSV. Okay, suppose that this is my file format name. Okay, And as I'm just going to deal with the CSV file, so I will just give CSV, and let's remove the compression. The compression is null, and the field delimiter. Field delimiter will obviously be a comma because we are dealing with a comma separated value means CSV file. And after that, we are going to skip the header. Okay, skip the header, and we are about to skip the header, so I will just give 1 so that it will skip the first row. Okay, because the first row is having a column names. Okay, so this is just a file format, and there is a one more property of the file format, that is field optionally close by. We will understand that thing better later on whenever we will deal with the double quotes of single quotes property. Let me create the file format. So file format is successfully created. Now let's refresh and let's see the file format. You see file format is there, and now we will load the data. And for the loading the data into this table, this is our customer CSV table which is having 0 rows, and I want to load the data in this table. So for loading the data, we have lots of methods. You can load the data using internal stage. You can load the data using external stage, and in the internal stage you are having these 3 options: user, table, named stage. You can create any stage, and you can just put your file in the stage location, and after that you can use the copy command for loading that data from the stage location to the table. So for that, in this case, as I'm not having any of the configuration of snowsql, so I will not use internal stage for loading the data, or I will also not use the external stage, because for the external stage data loading, we will create a separate video where we will see about the external tables and all those things. Okay, so we will basically load the data from the Snowflake web UI. If you are facing any type of doubt in data loading from user, table, or named stage, then you can just directly ask me in the Instagram or on the WhatsApp group or in the comment section, because we have covered all these loadings from in the briefly. You can watch that video. Okay, so if you want to load the data, so you have to just simply click on this table, and you have to simply click on this load data, and now you have to simply select and browse that file which you want to load in this table. So let me browse this file. I want to load the customer underscore 1. So let me move to that folder. That file is there in the file format, and this is customer underscore 1, and let me open this. You can see this is selected, and this is just a table. In which table I want to load the data, and after that you have to simply click on next, and here you will get a one new thing. Okay, I will show you that new thing as well. Okay, here you can see, here we are having the file format. Okay, you can directly create the file format from here as well, from the web UI, or you can write a query for creating that file format. So here we are having the two methods for creating a file format. You can create the file format by loading the data only. Okay, so if you want to create the CSV TSV, you can select this JSON, Parquet, Avro, or CXML. You can create the file format while loading the data only. Okay, and you can just put out these properties. You can see we're having these properties: header, field, delimiter. You can select this. If you want to skip, then you can skip the first line, custom, and see date, time. All the file format properties are there. Okay, if you want to create the file format while loading the data, then you can load the data from here. Okay, and if you want to use the file format from your databases, then you can see you are having these file format. This is the file format which I have created. Okay, so I will select this one, and after that, what should happen if an error encounters? Suppose that by any chance some errors came in while loading the data, then there also we are having these options. We will see this thing: on error, continue, abort, skip limit. Okay, so suppose that I will just simply on error is equals to continue. So if by any chance if any error occurs, then data loading will not be stopped, and it will load all of the validate data into the file. Okay, you can just simply show SQL, and now let me load the data. Okay, so it will load the all of the 100 rows into this customer underscore CSV table. You can see 100 rows were successfully inserted in the table. Let me query data. Okay, so it is just querying the data. Okay, let's check the data statistic from customer underscore CSV, and let me show you that 100 rows. Like you can see we got 100 rows, means 100 rows data is successfully loaded to our table. So now we have successfully loaded the CSV data, and in the similar way you can load the PSV and TSV data as well. Okay, PSV and TSV is a very simple thing. Okay, so if you want to load the PSV data, so you can just create the PSV file format. Okay, let me tell you how can you create the PSV file format. Okay, so for the PSV, you have to just give here PSV, and for the field delimiter you have to give the T, right? \T. Okay, this is just your PSV file format. Okay, and if you want to load the TSV file of data, so you can change the name of your file format, and in the field delimiter you can give this tab. Okay, so this is just how can you load the CSV, PSV and TSV file data. Okay, CSV I have told you, and you can just load this PSV and TSV file data. These files, CSV, PSV, TSV, which I'm just using, I will just provide you in my GitHub account. You can download from there, or you can just go to web and you can just download any dummy CSV, PSV, TSV file for your practice. Okay, so CSV I have told you, rest all the things you can just practice on your own for loading PSV and TSV. That's a very simple thing. Okay, so now we will load the big data, and we will also see simultaneously that how can we use this field optionally enclosed by file format property. So let's now load the big data, and then we will see that if you are facing any type of error, then we will see. Okay, so loading big data. Okay, so for the big data, let me show you the big data Excel file. So you can see this is the Excel file for the big data, which is having a 10k records. Okay, you can see we are having 10k records. Okay, 7457, and we are having 10k records. Okay, so we are going to load this data. Okay, in this table, in the same table, we are going to use the same table. Okay, so for that, let me first of all truncate this table. Truncate table customer underscore CSV. Let's truncate this table. The statement executed successfully. Let's refresh, and here is the customer CSV. You can see it is having 0. Okay, so now we are going to load this 10k records file into this table. So for loading the big data, we will just use this file format only. Let's copy and let's paste here, and let me give here customer underscore big. Okay, this is just a new file format which I am creating, and let's create this. Okay, after that, if you will face any error of double quotes or single quotes, then we will use that octal number. This field optionally included by file format property. Okay, first of all, we will load the simple data without putting that property. Okay, so let's browse this thing, and let me select that big data file. So let me select this, and this is 10k good data, and let's open this, and now I'm going to load in this table, and it is having a 10k records of 1.4 MB, so it will take some time because it is a big data. And if you are going to load the data from the internal stage, then there is a one property of parallel processing is there. Okay, if you will put the parallel is equals to 10, 90, 100, 1000 in the copy command, then your file from the internal stage will be loaded successfully in a very fast speed. Okay, and for the file format, we will select this file format customer underscore big, which I have created. Okay, and on error is equals to continue. If you face any error, then that error will be skipped and all data will be loaded. Okay, you can see data partially loaded into the table. From that 10,002 rows, only 9849 rows were successfully loaded. Okay, why it is it has skipped all the rows? Because of some timestamp error, so which I have already told that in this series we will see that how can we deal with the date and timestamp problem. Okay, yes, this is the timestamp error we got, and you can see field delimiter this found while expecting record delimiter this. Okay, so you can see partially data loaded. Okay, means all data is not loaded here. Okay, and if we are going to check now, let's refresh and let's see here in the table. You can see it is saying 0 rows. Okay, it will take some time to reflect. Let's query. Okay, select the string from customer underscore CSV. So it will take some time because we are querying the 10k records, and then and that site is taking some time. Okay, you can see we got this thing. Okay, we got 9.8k rows. Okay, 9.8k means 9,849 rows we got. Okay, because here some of the rows are skipped. Why they are skipped? Because of that field optionally included by property this, because here in this Excel file 10k some data is present in the double quotes. Okay, you can see here all the data is in the single, not in the any of the quotes, but here I have seen some of the data is there which is in the single quotes, means a name, first name or last name or anything is in the single quotes or double quotes. I have seen that thing. Then check out that thing. I will provide you that file. So if you want to use this field optionally enclosed by property, then you have to do like this way: field optionally enclosed by is equals to backslash 042. 042 is just an octal number for the double quotes, and for the single quotes we are having 043. Okay, so let me recreate this file format and we will reload the data. Okay, so data file format is recreated, and let's truncate this table data. So table is truncated. Let's verify the data. You can see we are not having any data, and now we will load the data again. Okay, let's browse and let's see that how many rows this time are loading. Okay, so let's browse, and now this time if we are having that double quotes error, then that double quotes file will be loaded into our Snowflake table. But you will get that registration time error. If that registration time error was there now, so that error will not be solved because we have not put any property for that date and time stamp error. Okay, that thing we will see in the upcoming videos, that how to deal with the date and time stamp error. Okay. Okay, so let's select the file format. We have customer big and on error is equals to continue. Let's load the data. Okay, now if we are having any that errors, then that data is loaded. You can see from the 10,000 2 rows, 10,000 rows are successfully loaded. Okay, 2 rows are skipped because of this registration time error. Okay, means this is just a timestamp error which we will solve later on. Okay, so rest all of the errors are solved. Earlier 9,849 rows are loaded from the 10,002 rows, but now this time 10,000 rows are loaded from 10,002 rows. Only 2 rows are skipped of this timestamp error. Okay, so now we have used that property where this field optionally included by slash 042. So all of the double quotes error got solved and all the data is loaded. Okay, let me show you the data in the table as well. So it is taking time because we had lots of data. So you can see 10k records are loaded successfully, means all the 10,000 rows are loaded. Okay, but if you will check here in the Excel file, we are having 2 more extra rows. Okay, you can see. So those 2 extra rows are skipped because of some registration or some error, because I have not created these Excel files of 10,000 rows. I have just simply downloaded it from web. Okay, so there may be some errors we are having. Okay, we will see that later on of this registration time. Now field optionally included by is done, loading big data is here. Now we are left with copy command errors. On error, continue, abort, skip. We are going to see. Okay, so let's see copy command errors. Okay, first error what we are having. We are having this on error property, right? On error is equals to continue. Okay, these are all the things you need whenever you will write the query for loading the data by using the copy command. Okay, so let me tell you how can we write the copy command. So you have to write copy into, suppose that I want to copy the data in this CSV table. Okay, customer underscore CSV table. Okay, and from where I want to copy, I want to copy from any stage location. Okay, suppose that I want to copy from this table stage only. Okay, so I want to copy this from customer underscore CSV stage. Okay, and I will give the file format property here, that this file format I'm going to use. Okay, so which file format I'm going to use? I'm going to use this customer underscore bin file format for this copy command loading. Okay, and you will just use this punch is equals to true as well. And now we can give on error property here. Okay, basically we are using on error property here. Okay, here you can use the continue, you can use the abort statement. On error is equals to continue. We are having abort statement. Okay, and we are having escape, and we are having skip, and you can give the limit of errors, how many errors you can skip. Suppose that any file is having 10 errors and you have given skip 5, so it will skip 5 errors and 5 errors will be shown. Okay, so this way you can use this on error is continue, on error is equals to skip file, and abort statement means if any of the error came in that data loading, then it will skip and it will not load any data. You can use abort statement. Okay, abort statement like this way. Okay, and suppose that you want to skip, so it will skip that file and it will not load any data if that file is having the error. Okay, and suppose that you want to skip errors. Okay, so skip file, suppose that any file is having 10 errors. Okay, 10 errors, and I want to skip some errors. Okay, so I want to skip 5 errors from those 10 errors. Okay, so 5 errors will be skipped and 5 errors will be shown. And if you want to skip the all errors, so you can give 10 like this. Okay, we are having basically 4 only copy command errors. Okay, continue abort, basically a lot of time continue is used. Okay, and abort is used. Okay, so if you want to continue the data loading, if any of the error occurred, then you can use the continue, as we are using continue. Whenever we are loading the big data, earlier 9,849 rows only loaded, because there we have used continue. There error occurred, but our file data is loaded because we have used this continue. If in place of continue we have used this abort, then no any rows will be loaded. Okay, means all that 9,849 rows are loaded earlier. If we had used this abort, then no any rows will get loaded. Okay, so this is for the continue. And abort means if any error occurs, then it will abort the data loading, it will not load any data. And if any error occurred, then it will skip that file and it will move to the another file, if any file you are having. And if any file is having 10 errors, 20 errors, so you can do like this, skip 5, 10. So it will skip that file. Okay, errors. Okay, so this is skip to 10 errors. Okay, 10 error recalls like that. Okay, you can practice these things, then you will better understand this thing. Okay, so this is all about this session of first. And let me show you this script file. Okay, which we have used in our session. Snowflake full course we have done. There we have covered internal and external stages. These are something about written. I have written some points for internal and external stages. And for the internal stages, we are having user table named, and this is all about user stage is given, table stage is given. I have written all of the points. Okay, from the scratch level, you can understand these things. You will get this all of the notes and script in my GitHub account, so you can visit to the description box. Okay, and if you are not able to find this, then you can just ask me in the comment section or Instagram or WhatsApp. Okay, you can see dealing with loading errors. You can see on error, skip the file, abort statement, skip up to 10 error records, on error is equals to continue. This is all the things we have covered already. Okay, so you can watch this session from the description box. It is very helpful. That's all for today's session. If you are facing any type of doubt, then you can just directly ask me. I will surely help you out there. So that's all. Bye. Take care of yourself, guys. And it is very important. Please watch this internal and external stages full course video from the description box. That's very important for data loading.